So hello everybody, welcome back. So I wanted to talk to you right now about some tips about food that you may want to consider for hard times. I have mentioned several tips before. This is a reproduction list. I hope the information is helpful somehow. I'm also taking questions in case that you have any. Um, because I do try to cover everything in my videos, but sometimes I might miss something, or you may have something that you don't understand or something, and I might need to clarify it a little bit more. So before I continue, I wanted to remind you that if you want to buy me a coffee, you can do that down below. The link is buymeacoffee.com/Shuriel, which is down below. And if you want to help me out, you can also send an Amazon gift card. The email is down below. And I do have some books in Gumroad if you want to take a look at those. Now, I wanted to tell you several things. Number one, I have mentioned before that you do need to have several knife sharpeners, because if your knife is dull, then you will have problems when you're dealing with cutting things. Accidents in the kitchen will happen more frequently when you have tools that you need to apply more pressure or more strength when you're handling. Handling your tool should be easy, and you don't want to have to produce so much pressure in your knives and stuff like that. So you need to sharpen your knives and your scissors and everything kind of frequently. And if you have the device but you do not know how to use it, you might need to learn how to use it. If you don't know how to do this, or you don't have the device or anything like that, you can ask in your local supermarket or something if they offer that service. Some people are now offering that service, like you go to a place, you leave your knife, you come back, and they are already sharpened and everything like that. Besides that, you also want to take a look at some videos that are specific about how to cut onions properly. This is because most people do not know how to cut onions properly. You also may want to take a look at a chart that it is online, and there are several that you can look about types of cutting things, cutting methods to, potatoes or vegetables or whatever. It's kind of like, you cut things into square pieces. Other times you will cut them into long pieces. Other times you will cut them into very short pieces. I don't know, because you want to take a look at that and actually print it and have them in your kitchen someplace, so that you can remember. Because if somebody, let's say that you are working with somebody that knows what the hell they're doing in the kitchen, and they say something like, cut the onions in a juliana, I don't know juliana in English, but in Spanish you call it juliana. And then you're kind of like, right. So you don't want to look like an idiot, and then you cut the thing in square pieces, and then the person looks at you like, what the hell? Yeah, kind of like that. So if you don't want to look bad, you might need to, have some sort of way to make this universal process. And also, this is because when you are teaching other people, let's say your kids, about the types of cuts that you are supposed to be making, you want to tell them this cut is called juliana. Well, that's the name in Spanish. The juliana, or French, or whatever style it is. And then you want to tell them why you're cutting it into that form or shape. And the onion is one of those things that 99% of people will probably cut them in the wrong form, because you cut them in straight lines, and actually the onion already has like a space, like small spaces in which they are supposed to be cut and stuff, and most people do not know. And it's important that And it is important that you also buy or take into your EDC, your car, and your lunch box or your bento or whatever, the tools for eating. The reason why you want to have that is for yourself, but in case that, let's say that your sister comes to visit, and you just made her lunch and she's leaving, but if she's leaving with a container that I already told you probably want to have a container that you're not going to be mad about parting with that thing. But now, how the hell is she going to eat it? So you need a hell of a lot of plastic spoons, disposable, that you can just give her. And the plastic spoons must be sturdy, because most of the time you're going to be dealing with things that are hot. And also because if that person cannot afford to buy the tools for having multi-tool for eating and stuff in her car or whatever, they probably are going to be reusing that. If it is a plastic spoon that is very soft, they will break. You need them to be kind of sturdy. And at the same time, if you're a person that cares, you might want to buy them in particular colors or things, especially if you have kids and you have like 3 kids and they are all fighting over the freaking spoon, and they are all fighting that that is their spoon. Oh hell, if you have one that is blue, one that is red, and one that is pink, they are not fighting because they already know which one it is for them. And like I said before, there are tools like a spoon or something that you can buy them with a little hole in the bottom, and that way that spoon can be used as a bottle opener. This is very important because not everyone knows how to use an uneven kind of a surface to just put the bottle in there and press it, and then you can have a bottle opener. But most people are just kind of like, yeah, I never learned how the hell to do that. So this is kind of like a skill, and not everyone will do it, and you don't want to do that. You want to simplify your life. So try to have things that are multiple use, and try to have things that are sturdy, and always, always, always assume that nobody else is prepared, because quite frankly, they're not. Especially if you are the one who happens to be the link between your family. Let's say that everyone in Christmas is using your house. Yeah, that means that whatever the hell there are problems, everyone will come to your place or will come to you. And the same will be said about you. If you are always going to your father's house for Christmas and for everything, when you're in problem, I can assure you that probably the best choice for you to go will be your father's house, because they already are kind of like the center of everything. So this is going to be an issue if you are the one who happens to be in the middle. And you, like I said, so you want to buy those things in quantity. The one that you're going to use the most is the spoon. The second one obviously will be the fork. The knife, plastic knives will be useful, but not that useful, because most people, when you fill up a bento or a lunch box, you don't put a steak on it. Okay, you cut all of the steaks into small pieces and then you put it into the bento, because this is a thing. Most people, when they when they are amateurs and they are preparing lunch boxes and stuff like that, they put food that is very big, and if you are in the car, how the hell are you going to take this steak out of the lunchbox to try to cut it? It's kind of like, what the hell? Where am I supposed to put this? In the air? I don't have a table in here. All I have is a car. So, one of the things that you need to consider is putting everything into the bento in a way in which it will be very, very, very easy to just, use a spoon or the fork, eat it, And also, if you're preparing a food for somebody that has problems with their teeth, and like I said before, 4 out of 5 people will have problems with their teeth, it's important that the food is not too crunchy. or too hard, especially elderly, because it's going to be a thing. And straws are going to be one of those things that, like I said, you want to have a lot. Same reason, because people are going to be, in their car or in the run or whatever, and and you are, and some people are going to be kind of like, I feel bad, so I'm just going to take the broth out of this soup. So, how the hell do you do that? Through the straw. Like I said, buying your own straw will be a good choice. They come in different colors and shapes and stuff, and it will be cool to have it. However, it will depend upon how much you want to carry in your EDC. Your EDC for food is going to be one of those things that, most people do not consider that until they are in problems. Why? Well, because during good times, if you want to buy a coffee, you have $5. I mean, you can buy the coffee. What the hell? But if you're in hard times, if you are going to be buying, 2 or 3 coffees daily, that is $15, daily. So you might need to take, a good look at thermoses and stuff like that. And, like I said, you also want to consider the temperature for the food and if the container is going to be in the microwave. There is going to be people that have never in their entire life used a container before for, taking the food out. And as soon as they put it in the microwave, the container will melt because the container was not meant to be microwaved. And there are going to be a lot of people that will create fires because when you are putting food to eat, to go, some people will put it into containers that are metal. And then some people will be, in the rush or they will just be unaware or whatever, and they put it in the microwave. And that thing is metal. So of course it's going to blow up. So you need to make sure that the containers that you are using, you put a very big label saying not microwavable or microwavable, because it's one of those things. And by the way, some people will just put together things that are cold and things that are hot. Like, for example, you put rice and salad and everything, and then you put the microwave. Just place everything in the microwave, and then you're eating lettuce and tomatoes and stuff that was supposed to be a salad, which is cold, and now it is hot because you put it in the microwave because they were all together. So preparing a bento or a lunch box is not as easy as it sounds, because you require something that when you put it in the microwave still smells good, still feels good, and it still looks edible. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look like the texture it was just lost. And the container just won't melt or won't catch fire. And the containers are separated. And the drinks, are also important. Because if you're choking, because you don't have, a drink or something, it's going to be one of those things and you go kind of like, what the hell? So, you want to prepare menus in advance for when you need to prepare bentos and stuff. And you need to cut them into very small pieces. And you need to consider that the person may have problems with their teeth. You also may need to reconsider the menu if the person has dietary restrictions like gluten-free or allergies or whatever it is, And also you need to consider putting cash into those, because if you can, sometimes when you put the container, you will have like a bag and then you have the containers. Some people will put cash into the bag below the container, just in case that they forgot something or they need to buy something else, or all of a sudden you are with your best friend and they don't have food, so you have to share with them. This is why you want to have always two sets of the cutlery thing, like the spoon, the fork, and whatever. And this is also why you want to have enough, napkins and stuff. And that is something that you also cannot put together with the food, because obviously the napkin might be wet because you put it next to something cold. So now, due to the condensation process, that napkin is wet. So you just lost the freaking napkin. So this is why some people will buy napkins, and then they will pay someone to sew their names on it. Or you can do it yourself if you know how the hell to sew. Or you can mark it with, permanent markers and stuff. There are people that will even paint them. And they will know that this is their napkin, and then they will have 2 or 3 napkins, in their lunchbox. And they are reusable, which is cheaper. However, and this is also very important. When you are, going into, let's say, the mall for eating, because by the way, now, like I said before in the other videos, when you go to the mall, you will not buy food at the mall. Most people won't. Most people will go to the food court and they will just buy the drink. Or they will just take their lunchbox or whatever, at the event or whatever, and then they will put it in the table and then they will eat. This means that you need to clean the table. This means that the container must have some sort of cleaning thing. You also may need to have a small thing for going into the bathroom and washing your hands and having, the sanitary gel and stuff like that. Because eating is not just you grabbing that thing and eating. Because if you're dirty, or if you need to brush your teeth after this, or you need to do this, the food container must be with some sort of hygiene thing for the place. As in using a cloth for cleaning the table so that you can sit there. And some people will go to the extreme of also cleaning the chair because of the whatever. So all of these things are going to take a little bit of a space. Unless, you have very small containers and you have a very cute thing, like a set in which, like a makeup set in which you open it and you have these and these and these separated, and it's in a compartment and everything is clean and clear and whatever. But most people will have to deal with 2 or 3 bags that are different, like one for going to the bathroom and cleaning, another one for cleaning the place, and another one for the container with the food, and then one for other things. So all of these things are important to keep in mind. Because when you're dealing with somebody that is going to travel, you may also need to give them ice. Because, if they're going to be 20 hours in the car, let's say 10 hours in the car, and that is if there are no problems because they are traveling or something, they are going to require ice. And this is also a container that you may need to part with, because, like I said, most people just don't think ahead. This is also why I have a car agenda, and you might want to take a look at that in the Gumroad page, because a car agenda will help you out about what you're supposed to have in your car when you're traveling, when you're having hard times, when you're in a freaking line trying to get gasoline for 4 days straight or whatever. And, when you are just there. And all of these things will play a role when you're sharing with other people. If you are alone and you're fine, and you just are eating whatever the hell and you don't care, that's fine. However, if you find yourself with, my best friend just showed up and she is, crying or whatever, and I have food only for me, I need to share it. And if you don't have a second tool for eating or whatever, what are you going to do? So this is why you always have to try to put yourself into the situation in which you are sharing with somebody and you are always, thinking that they are like you and they are not. Okay? For example, me, I don't use the napkins the way that my mom or other people do. Oh crap, I have a friend that if she was sitting, oh my God, she can use 20 napkins. Every time that she uses the napkins for cleaning the utensils, the things, and then the plate and everything, and oh crap. Because there are people that are maniacs about cleaning and being in a very clean setting when they are eating. Other people are just like me. I'm like, yeah, I'm just eating. I don't care. But other people will be, in a different mindset. And other people might be kind of like, I can't eat that because it has gluten, like my mother, or other things. So, and by the way, dealing with children's lunchbox and everything, yeah, that is totally a new thing, because children will be different, especially if they are spoiled. If they are spoiled and the food doesn't look like a toy or something that they can play with, or something that, I don't know, because it depends upon the child. Some kids are going to be kind of like, what? That's broccoli? I'm not eating that. Yeah. Others are going to be kind of like, oh my God, that is a tree. I want to eat it. So, you want to try to figure out your kid, and you want to teach your kid how to be patient about other people's food, because not everyone will cook like you. If you're the mother, not everybody will cook like you. Not everybody will offer your kid the same kind of food. And at the same time, you want to tell kids that they might not want to take food from any stranger at all, because this is kind of like one of those things. You don't take candies from a stranger. So, dealing with food that goes outside of your house when you're sharing is one thing. When you're giving it up to somebody else is another thing. When you are dealing with that and you need to sit down in a place that has no table and nothing is one thing. When you are dealing with a table and everything, like you meeting with everybody, when you're working, everybody in the office is going to the mall to eat. Yeah, then you gotta clean, and your container must look cool and stuff like that, because you might be ashamed, to take your lunchbox out because your lunchbox looks like a poor person thing. Crap, all of those things are going to play a role when you're eating out and when you are dealing with the food. And like I said, if you are a person that you just put one steak on it and then your plastic knife just broke, what the hell are you going to do? Are you going to just take the whole thing and eat it like with your teeth and try to break it, like if you were I don't know, like a caveman or something? I mean, there are people that are going to do that, by the way. And then I swear to God, there are people that will stop eating as soon as you see somebody else eating. Because when you see somebody else eating, other people might be using their fingers, and they are not going to, they're going to use their clothing for wiping their mouth and stuff, because they don't have napkins, or because they don't have tools, or because they forgot. This is why, also, you try to not see other people. It's going to be very important, because if you are one of those persons that, oh my God, what the hell did that woman do? Oh my God, I'm not going to eat anymore because I'm disgusted. Yeah, you're going to be, oh crap, you're probably going to vomit. So, no, you want to try to keep it into your own business, and you want to try to do your best. Meaning, you prepare for sharing with somebody that is a complete mess, the opposite from you, which will help you, by the way. So anyway, I hope this information was helpful, so thank you for watching.